Here we have in our newsroom is Dr. Richard Pan, also California State Senator of Sacramento. Hi, great to see you.
Great seeing you again. Thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely. So our viewers, our audience has many questions, and you are here to give answers about the coronavirus.
Okay.
Okay, we'll start with question number one. Can I still get a flu shot if I've gotten the COVID-19 vaccine? And if so, how long should I wait between vaccinations?
So you can still get a flu shot, but we do recommend that you not get the COVID vaccine at least 14 days after you've gotten any other vaccine. So if you're in line to get a COVID vaccine, you should probably wait till you get that COVID vaccine first.
Okay, are we talking about the first dose, the second dose, and then 14 days later, or can we go in between? Well, depending
So
on which one you get, right?
yeah, so the recommendation is that you shouldn't get the COVID vaccine within 14 days of getting any other vaccine. So that is a challenge because if you're in line to get the COVID vaccine, then you don't want to go get your flu shot right now. So generally do recommend people get their flu shot. A lot of people have, so congratulations, thank you. And our flu numbers are pretty low for that reason and people wearing masks and other things. So risk of flu right now is low. I don't want I do want to encourage people to get their flu shot, but if you are in a high risk category and you haven't gotten your flu shot yet, but it looks like you're about to get your COVID vaccine, then you may want to get your COVID vaccine first.
Okay, okay. And then, second question. Will the vaccine keep me 100% effective? And will it protect me from reinfection?
Unfortunately, nothing is 100%. The good news on the COVID vaccines that have been approved so far is that in the studies, they are 95% effective. So that's pretty good. In addition, if you get the vaccine, even if you do get infected with COVID, generally the infection is milder. So it even provides some protection, even if you do catch the virus. We don't know if you get the vaccine that whether you could get reinfected or that you might still continue to transmit the virus. So we're still collecting data on that. But what we do know is it does provide protection for the person who got the vaccine. And hopefully we will be getting more information on whether it also prevents you from being able to transmit the virus. That
Mhm.
is why it's so important right now, while we still have a lot of coronavirus out there, that even if you're vaccinated, please continue to wear your mask, wash your hands, keep that distance so we can try to reduce the spread of the disease.
Right, right. All those precautions that we've been taking. And does it matter what vaccine you get?
Actually, both of the vaccines are equally efficacious and safe. So you should get the first vaccine available to you. The main difference between the two vaccines for people receiving it is that there's a difference in the time interval for the second dose. So for the Pfizer vaccine, I believe it's 21 days. For the Moderna vaccine, it's 28 days. But aside from that, they're essentially equivalent in terms of effectiveness. So whichever one's available, that's the one you get.
Mhm. I understand a new vaccine is slated for FDA approval soon and only requires one dose and can be stored at sort of a reasonable temperature. What do you think about this vaccine? Which vaccine is this? And what do you think about the just only one dose?
So first of all, this is the Johnson and Johnson vaccine, which they are studying whether it can be given as only one dose or two, or requires two doses. So we have to look at the data to see if a one dose regimen is effective enough to just to have that as the regimen that's recommended. So until that data comes in and that approval comes through, we need to wait and see what is the recommendation on that. But certainly, given the fact that it doesn't have such strict storage requirements, as you mentioned, doesn't require that ultra cold storage, it may be easier to distribute and get around to people in different places. So certainly very excited to have potentially a third vaccine that's available for people. But we do have to wait until approval to find out exactly what the recommendations will be to ensure that it is effective when you get the vaccine.
Mhm. So punching over to Moderna, there's been a push to authorize half dosing to the public. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the vaccine was studied in, you know, uh, 30,000 people. I think half of them actually got the vaccine. And then, of course, we've given it after that based on full doses. So while there's been some discussion about, well, can we stretch the existing stores by giving people half doses? I would say is that the data is being generated based on full doses, and that is the way we should be giving it. Full doses, 2 doses, because that's where we know that it's absolutely effective.
Mhm. So it doesn't necessarily mean if we get a half dose, we're 50% at least
Right. Yeah.
vaccinated or
Yeah.
preventative. We just don't know that yet.
We don't
Okay.
know, and we should make the decisions based on the actual data and science. So
Yes.
maybe someone will try to do a study to see what happens for half doses, but I wouldn't recommend that for the general public until
Mhm.
there's actually good data to show that that's effective enough.
Right. I mean, the FDA issued a statement saying, yes, these are all great points, but we got to stick to the science.
Yes, right.
Okay. So you are pro vaccination, and I want you to tell those who are hesitant to get the vaccine. What would you say to them?
Well, first of all, I'd say is I'm pro science,
Pro
not just
science.
right.
Okay.
Right. So I'm not, if the science doesn't support the vaccine, I'm not going to be supporting that vaccine. So I'm pro
Okay.
science. Uh, the COVID vaccines have been studied in clinical trials to be sure they're safe and effective. We're continuing to monitor them afterwards to be sure that they are safe. So you should feel confident when it's your turn to get the vaccine that it'll be safe and that it's going to work. And that's why you should go ahead and get the vaccine. We have had too many people die or get very ill from this vaccine, including people who have recovered but are still having symptoms. Let's not have that happen to you or your family. So
No.
please, when the opportunity is there, please pledge to get the vaccine.
Mm-hmm. Well, Dr. Pan, thank you so much. It was great to see you again. These great answers, and it's going to be helpful to our viewers.
Well, thank you so much for having me.